Did you know that millions of Canadians may soon be forced to rethink where they live, not because they lost their jobs or missed mortgage payments, but because of a wave of new housing laws quietly arriving in 2025? From the Pacific Coast to the Maritimes, policies meant to solve climate change and affordability are rewriting the rules of ownership, renting, and even what it means to live somewhere. In this video, we're unpacking 10 powerful new housing laws rolling out across Canada this year. Some will sound helpful. Others will sound shocking. But all of them have hidden costs, and the last one may be the most disruptive of all. Stay until the end, because we'll also share concrete tips for how you can protect yourself before these changes hit your neighborhood. Number 10. The foreign buyer ban gets sharper teeth. When Ottawa first announced a foreign buyer ban, it was pitched as a 2-year pause to cool overheated markets. In 2025, it's no longer a pause, it's a clampdown. The definition of foreign buyer now sweeps in more corporations with partial foreign ownership, eliminates loopholes for student visa holders, and closes exemptions for certain commercial properties. Impact. Sellers in cities like Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal may see fewer bidders and falling prices. Permanent residents waiting for citizenship may be locked out longer. Newcomers planning to invest in property as part of their settlement plan could be delayed years. What you can do. If you're selling, talk to an experienced realtor about how the new buyer pool affects your pricing. If you're buying, understand that local demand may still push some prices up even without overseas bids. Number 9. Mandatory energy retrofits, green goals, huge bills. Across British Columbia, Quebec, and parts of Ontario, 2025 marks the start of mandatory energy efficiency standards for older homes. Outdated insulation, oil furnaces, drafty windows, even old water heaters may now trigger compliance notices. Typical costs, $15,000 to $60,000 depending on property age. Penalties, higher insurance premiums, fines, or resale restrictions if you don't comply. Banks are even beginning to demand energy audits before approving loans. What you can do. Check your province's rules now. Apply for rebates such as the Greener Homes Initiative. Factor future retrofit costs into any home you're thinking of buying. Number 8. Vacancy taxes go national. Vancouver and Toronto pioneered empty homes taxes. In 2025, cities from Calgary to Halifax are copying the model. Leave a property empty for 6 months or more, and you could owe 2 to 3% of its assessed value per year, tens of thousands of dollars for an ordinary condo. Retirees who winter abroad, families settling estates, and Canadians on extended work travel are suddenly being treated like speculators. How to stay safe. Keep clear records showing occupancy or rental status. If you're away, consider long-term or even short-term renting to avoid the tax. Number 7. Renoviction crackdowns, paperwork or penalties. Renoviction used to be a landlord's shortcut to higher rents. Not anymore. Ontario, BC, and Nova Scotia now demand proof of genuine renovations, detailed permits, and in some cases a sworn statement that the landlord or a family member will occupy the unit afterward. Fines for breaking the rules can top $100,000. For tenants. You can dispute notices, request documentation, and sometimes remain during minor repairs. For landlords. Consult a lawyer before issuing any eviction related to renovations. The burden of proof is now on you. Number 6. the anti-flipping tax takes full effect. Selling a home within 12 months of purchase. In 2025, any profit is treated as business income, taxed at your full marginal rate, unless you qualify for narrow exemptions like divorce, death, or serious illness. Ordinary homeowners who relocate quickly for jobs can get caught. Professional flippers may find their entire business model erased. Tip: if possible, hold a property at least 12 months to avoid the tax. If you must sell, speak with an accountant early to plan for the tax hit. Number 5, zoning reform, duplexes on every street. Single-family zoning is being dismantled in cities like Toronto, Edmonton, and Victoria. Lots that once allowed only one detached house can now host multiplexes. Good news for housing supply, but a shock for existing homeowners: more cars, denser streets, and possibly higher property taxes as infrastructure expands. Developers are already knocking on doors. Tip: check your city's zoning portal to see what's allowed on your block. Attend council meetings if you want a voice in how infill happens. Number 4, first-time buyer incentives tighten. CMHC and provincial programs are raising minimum credit scores, lowering income caps, and applying stricter debt-to-income ratios. Young Canadians, even with stable jobs, are being disqualified from programs that were supposed to help them. Shared equity options are shrinking. Down payments are growing. What to do? Improve credit and reduce debt well in advance. Explore alternative paths like co-buying or rent-to-own agreements. Number 3, rental licensing. Your basement suite needs a permit. Ottawa, Hamilton, Mississauga, and dozens of other municipalities now require landlords to license each rental unit, pay annual fees, and pass inspections. This means floor plans, fire checks, sometimes landlord training courses. Operating without a license can bring fines up to $100,000. Advice: landlords, register early to get fee discounts and avoid penalties. Tenants, ask if your unit is licensed. Unlicensed units may give you extra rights or rent reductions. Number 2, climate risk maps redrawn. New floodplains, wildfire zones, and erosion corridors are being designated using updated climate models. Entire areas once low risk are now high risk. Consequences: insurance premiums soar or coverage is denied. Without insurance, you can't get a mortgage. Municipalities may forbid rebuilding after a disaster. Protect yourself. Check your address on provincial risk maps. Talk to your insurer. Consider upgrades like sump pumps, fire-resistant siding, or raised foundations. Some are rebate eligible. Number 1, expropriation for public housing and transit. Imagine opening your mail to find a notice: the city is taking your land for a transit corridor or affordable housing complex. In 2025, more municipalities have streamlined expropriation powers to seize underutilized parcels, including privately owned ones, at market value, often less than open market offers. Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal are mapping target zones near future transit lines. Small landlords, aging rental owners, even light industrial parcels are in the crosshairs. Monitor city development plans. If your property appears on a list, get legal advice immediately. You may be entitled to negotiate compensation or relocation support, but deadlines are tight. Canada's housing landscape in 2025 is undergoing the biggest legal shift in decades. These 10 laws aren't minor tweaks, they're a rewrite of the social contract around property, how we buy, sell, rent, and even stay insured. For some, these policies will open doors. For others, they'll close them. Either way, the only way to avoid being blindsided is to stay informed, check your local regulations, and plan ahead. If this breakdown opened your eyes, let us know in the comments which law surprised you most. And if you want to keep up with the policies shaping where Canadians live next, hit that subscribe button, because this story isn't going away anytime soon.